Hi, I'm Tilly. I'm 11.
And I'm Anya, and I'm 14. So Tilly, how were you introduced to Stone Soup?
Um, my grandma knows that I love writing stories and things, and she found it and introduced me to it, and I thought it seemed like a really great thing. So I joined, and it was.
Cool, yeah. So do you subscribe to the magazine then?
Yes,
And how long have you subscribed for?
few months.
Okay, cool. And then you won one of the flash contests, I guess, earlier this summer, right? Or at some point, yeah. What was it like to submit or to write to in response to the prompt?
I was excited because it looked like a fun prompt, and so I just wrote it and submitted it. And it was awesome when I got the email saying that it had got that it had won.
Cool, yeah. Have you submitted anything to the magazine?
Um, Not yet, but I think I will soon.
Cool. Yeah. And then you do the writing workshop and book club, right?
Yeah.
So, what do you think is your favorite thing about the writing workshop?
Well, maybe the way everybody sort of gets to write away, just write what they think about it and how it's it. Hang on a sec. Sorry about that. Well, I think it's probably the way that everything just gets imagination flowing, and then the way at the end everyone gets to read out what they have written. Um,
Cool. Do you remember having a favorite writing workshop? Or, I mean, I know there were like a million of them, but I guess, yeah, do you remember a specific one?
mm, no, I like them all.
Okay. Well, that's good, I guess, right?
Yeah.
um, and then book club, too. What do you think is your favorite part about book club?
Mm, Maybe it's the way everybody has their own opinions about the book, and we all get to express that. And the books are always really good too. I enjoy reading them.
Do you remember having a specific favorite book? Or, again, were they all kind of good?
I really liked the list.
Okay.
Uh, yeah,
Cool. Yeah, that was an interesting one.
it was.
Did you do any of the summer camps this summer?
I didn't.
Okay,
I think I will next time.
cool. Um, and then I guess with your own writing, are there any books or authors who you get inspirations from or your favorite authors?
I like Diana Wynne Jones and Terry Pratchett. They're both really good authors. Uh, yeah, I think they're my favourite ones.
Okay. What do you like about their writing or about their books?
They're both sort of fantasy, but there's a realistic edge to it that is great.
Okay. So then do you think like fantasy is your favorite genre to write also or not?
Yes, I think it is.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So what types of fantasy do you like, I guess, or what types of fantasy do you like to write?
I like to write um, ones which aren't mainly about fantasy, but ones which just sort of have sort of magical things in them, sort of where magic is sort of just a part of the world, and yeah.
Cool. Yeah. And then do you think that you get any inspirations from things in your own life?
Maybe. I'm maybe.
Okay. Cool. Um, what is your favorite thing to write about?
Mm, all sorts of things, really.
Okay. Cool. Any specific all sorts of things or just anything?
Anything.
Okay. So do you like to write do you like to write poetry as well as short stories or one more than the other?
I like short stories a bit more than poetry, but poetry is still good. I like poetry.
Cool. Um, how much time do you think you spend writing usually? Is it just kind of whenever you happen to want to write, or do you try to write every day or whatever?
I think I write quite a lot. Um, maybe, maybe not every day, but quite a bit every week.
Okay, cool. Do you have a favorite place to write, or is it just wherever you happen to be?
Um, I like to write up a tree. Getting paper and pens up there is sometimes quite difficult.
That's cool though. What do you think you like about being up a tree?
You can see everywhere, and it just gives a really nice view, and it's like you're on top of the world. And
Cool. So, do you like to write on paper more than a computer then, since you obviously have to write on paper in a tree?
yeah, I do.
Okay. Do you find that there's a difference between the two, or is it just like you like it better for whatever reason?
I think on a computer, you it's probably easier to write on a computer because there's spell check, and you can just go back and do it a bit more easily than on paper. But I like paper because it's it feels more like writing.
Mm-hmm.
Just on a computer, it feels like sort of it doesn't seem as real writing.
Okay. Yeah, I get that. Do you think that the writing you do like for fun or for Stone Soup is different than writing you do in school, or are they kind of similar, or how do you think they help each other?
I think school helps more grammatically, uh, but Stone Soup and things like that, uh, they're better for imagination and just better for writing in general.
Okay. Well, yeah, that makes sense. That's what I've heard from a lot of people. Um, what do you think is your favorite thing about writing in general, then, I guess?
Sorry, I didn't catch that bit.
What is your favorite thing about writing?
Mm, the way you can sort of share your thoughts and ideas and imagination and things like that on, well, you can put them all onto paper, and then sometimes you can share them and other people can see things like that. Like,
Cool, definitely. Have you been writing for a while, I guess, or did you just start to like writing recently?
I've always loved writing.
Okay. Do you think that your like what you like to write about has changed over the few years, or
mm, Maybe, but I think what I've been writing about hasn't changed very recently, but it's
okay?
probably changed from what I wrote about when I was 7.
That would make sense. And then, oh wait, I literally just had a question. And then, oh yeah. In your writing, is there any like specific technique that you like to use? Do you like to like write short sentences or use lots of metaphors or description or whatever? Just your style of writing.
I think description is good to use. I like using description. And similes and metaphors, but not too many. Things like that.
Cool. And then I have 2 more questions, but those are my closing questions. So, is there anything else you want to say before we start to wrap up the interview? Just about writing or Stone Soup? And
I think Stone Soup is amazing.
Great, yeah, I would definitely agree with you there. So then I guess my last 2 questions. The first one would be, do you have any advice about writing for kids?
Keep going and keep writing, and it might not seem like great writing, but it is, probably.
Nice. Cool. And my last question, if you could tell someone about Stone Soup, what would you say?
It's my favourite website. Stone Soup is really great for anyone who likes writing or reading or drawing. Anyone who's creative, really. Stone Soup is awesome.
Cool, definitely, yeah. So I guess that's all the questions I have. Thank you so much for agreeing to this interview.